Preparing for the game of weight. Hi everyone, it's Suzanne Kohlberg, and I was just recording this intro video for the people who have registered for my game of weight program, which kicks off in 2 weeks. And I figured I would just make it publicly accessible because whether or not you're doing the game of weight, these are some great foundation principles for any lasting weight loss success. So, firstly, the game of weight kicks off on the 10th of May, which is 2 weeks from recording this. The first tip I give you is no food funerals, no last hurrahs. A lot of times when we sign up for a weight program that has a specific, I'll get it out, a specific start date, we can kind of think, oh, it starts the 10th of May. And we kind of have what I call the food funeral or the last hurrah, where we just keep eating all the things that we're not going to eat once the diet starts. The game of weight is unlike anything you've done before. There's no meal plans, there's no exercise plans. So you don't need to eat all the things now because you won't be able to eat them later. And I really encourage you, if you're tempted, if this is in the back of your mind, if this has been how you've behaved in every other diet before, to ask, how has that worked out for me? Because I know for years I did this. I'd eat everything because the day, the plan, the diet, the program, the thing started, I was never going to have anything bad again. And if you think about it from a physiological point of view, if we're shoving that much sugar, that much fat, all that stuff into our body, and then we stop cold turkey, the way our cells that respond, that are expecting that sugar overload, we're actually making things harder for ourselves. So what I'd encourage you to do is to be mindful, to observe, are there any patterns? Like for me, a pattern is once the kids are in bed, I'll tend to have a bit more then. Or if I haven't had a lot of sleep the night before, or if I've got a lot of things that need to be done and I just suddenly find myself in the pantry. Observation of where are the places that you're overeating and how you'd like to modify and change that is much more powerful than having a last hurrah 2-week long binge fest that you're going to have to deal with the result of on the start of the program. So the second thing is scheduling in time to actually do it. There can be something exciting about starting a program, thinking, yes, this is going to be the answer, and kind of putting it off to the future. And then, like the game of weight, it's a 3-week program. Those 3 weeks will go by like that. It will seem like an instant. So you know that we're kicking off the 10th of May. I'd encourage you to schedule time, if you can, at least 15 minutes a day, sometimes even longer if you can do 30 or 45 minutes. Because if you start to plan that now, then you can have a look, when is the best time of the day? And it might be varied times for you. So whether or not there is a call that day or material that day, you can be working through stuff. So I know it can be really hard to think, oh, I've got to schedule 45 minutes, maybe a couple of blocks of 10 minutes. So for me, I like to do something when I first wake up. It can be hard. I've got young kids and often they can be quite needy first thing in the morning. So the other one would be once I drop them off at school. Between dropping them off at school and starting work, I usually have a 15-minute block there. Before I go and pick them up in the afternoon, I have like a 15-minute block there, and when they first go to bed. So don't think that you need this big time chunk. Even if you're scheduling in short blocks of 10 to 15 minutes, it could be the time that you scroll Facebook or Insta. Like, I know I knock that a lot, and it's just, it can be so easy to end up in a rabbit warren and then an hour later go, where's the time gone? So if you look at your diary now and make these pockets, these windows, block it out. I use Google Calendar. You might use pen and paper. However you map your time, block in moments to be able to actually work on the program. So you don't go, oh, there's another 3 weeks where I didn't do anything. The third thing is get support and accountability. So you could have a friend or somebody that you invite to go on the weight journey with you. If that's too confronting or it's something you really want to do on your own, they don't have to be doing the same thing you're doing. You could have accountability, as in ask your friend to check in. Hey, how are you going with the game of weight? Are you keeping up to date? Or, that reminder, because sometimes when we're left to our own devices and the time block rolls around, and I can only speak so well to this because I do it. I could work on the program, or I could just go and watch an episode of Netflix, or I could just scroll Facebook. But if you've got that person, a friend, a family member checking in, going, how are you going? That cheerleader, that support person makes all the difference. It's like, oh no, I can't skip out on doing this. My friend Belinda's going to ask, how did it go? So the next thing I suggest, number 4, it's going to sound a bit cliche, but I really encourage you to be kind to yourself. Change isn't easy. We didn't get to this position overnight. We're not going to change overnight. It's going to take time. Things are going to come up. It's going to be confronting. The way we talk to ourselves, as I said, it's cliche, but is it the way we talk to others? Would you speak to anyone else using those words, using that tone, using that abruptness? Like it cannot be overstated, the fact that, being kind to ourselves doesn't mean that we're not going to change. It doesn't mean that we're taking our foot off the accelerator. It just means that, these things don't have to be mutually exclusive, kind and progress. Number 5, have fun. The game of weight is not like going to the dentist. You don't have to be like, oh no, because how you lose weight is how you keep it off. If you think that you have to deprive yourself, if you think you have to go hard or go home, you're just going to end up going home. Be gentle, be kind, schedule the time, turn up for yourself in these tiny little blocks. And imagine, you might be like, oh, what can I get done in 10 minutes? Over a week, if you have 10 blocks of 10 minutes, that's an hour 40. An hour 40 taking you closer to your goals as opposed to an hour 40 doing nothing. It adds up. And finally, to prepare for the game of weight, there is a bonus meditation, overcoming emotional eating. I really encourage you to start listening to that today. Try and listen to it most days. I know it can be hard to find time for meditation. I like to listen just as I go to bed or as I'm winding down for bed because it's no screen time. It helps, slow down and get ready for the evening. And there's no excuse why you can't do it because you're getting into bed. So that's would be a window I really encourage you to put that 10, 15 minute meditation on then. If you're coming across this video and you have no idea what the game of weight is, I will talk a bit more about it now. But for those of you who have already registered, I hope that's been helpful. I just give you the rundown again of the tips. Number 1, no food funerals or last hurrahs. Instead, just observe your behaviors. Number 2, schedule in time to do it. Number 3, get support or accountability to check in and keep that you're on the road. Number 4, be kind to yourself. Number 5, have fun. This is not the dentist. And number 6, start taking action on the bonus meditation as often as you can. So for those of you who want to know more details about the game of weight, I'll talk about it briefly. It's a 3-week group coaching program consisting of 10 principles for lasting weight loss. I really think this program is amazing. It's super affordable. It's 3 weeks, so it's a super short period of time. It's not dragging on for months. And you can dive in or dive out as needed. And, just imagine if you came to this program and you took one thing, there's 10 principles. If you're like, oh, I don't have time, I'm too busy, but you commit to listening and picking one thing that you're going to action and it becomes commonplace every day, like brushing your teeth, how much is that worth to you over the long term? It's only 150 Australian dollars. It's an absolute steal. We talk about things like scheduling and booking it in. So if that has been a struggle just listening to this on this video, that's something that we go over in the course. We also go over eating less and moving more, not from the point of I don't give you a diet plan or an exercise plan, but from looking at the strategies and the mindset of why we don't do it, because we know to do those things. So why don't we? And what are some tips and tricks? Ones that actually work, ones that I've used myself to lose over 78 kilos and heaps of my clients have used to actually keep doing this over the long term. We talk about drinking water, we talk about sleep. The things, as I said, we know what to do, but why don't we do them? And each of these principles has both a mindset and a strategy component so that you can ground your learnings in practical action steps. It's no point just reading it or attending, listening and going, that was nice, and going about your merry way. You need to actually take action. That's what this program will help you to do. We also talk about things like getting out of a slump, healing the past. Like a lot of us have a lot of excess emotional baggage about our previous failed weight loss attempts that probably weigh more heavy than the physical weight on our body. What to do when the little extras slip in and how to ask for support. Like you might have heard me just now saying that as a tip and be like, oh, Suzanne, I couldn't ask someone for support or accountability. That's something we can do together. So the program is run online in a closed Facebook group. The group opens on the 10th of May and each of the principles are delivered via Facebook Live. And there's time at the end. So if you're able to join live, you can ask questions. But at the end, there's also a dedicated consolidation Q&A call where you can ask anything that's come up during the program. It's, as I said, the investment is only 150 Australian dollars. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a total bargain. Looking how much I've spent personally on my weight over the years, I've taken all the things that have worked, condensed it down into something really, really workable, really affordable for anyone. And lastly, there is a bonus stop emotional eating meditation. So the program starts on the 10th of May, but you get access to that meditation immediately. So you can start listening to that and start your journey now instead of waiting, because we've all been waiting for the wait. I know some of you are like, oh, I'll hold off. I'll buy it closer to the date. But as I said, no food funerals. You can actually get ahead by buying today, downloading that meditation and start taking action. Or if you have all the best intentions of listening to the meditation and you don't, bring that to the call, the consolidation Q&A call, or any of the calls, frame that as a question and let's unpack. Why do we do this? Why do we buy the things with the best intentions? We join the gym, we buy the program, but then we don't actually do it. That's something we can unpack together. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching. I'm Suzanne Kohlberg. Bye.